All right, so what's your name?
Dog.
How old are you?
3.
3? Okay, I have a question. Come here.
Come on, Corey.
Stand right here. What advice would you give your younger self, Corey?
Poop.
What advice would you give your younger self?
Poop.
Poop. Thank you. Hi everybody, welcome to another one of my videos. Today's video is what advice you would give your younger self. As we get older, we often reflect on our lives, on what we've done. We wonder sometimes what we could have done differently and what advice we would have wanted to hear as a young person going through life. Maybe we'd tell ourselves to be more disciplined or take more risks or worry less. Like me, I would tell myself to worry less probably. But for me personally, I am so grateful of how my life turned out so far. I feel like everything in my life has happened for a reason. The good, the bad, the ugly. In the moment, I know the bad stuff feels really awful and bad, but even then, during the moment, I know it happens for a reason, because then when I look back to these moments, I realize those moments shaped me to be who I am today. So I'm really grateful for everything that's happened in my life. My advice for myself, as a younger person, even though I'm only 24, my advice for myself wouldn't be to change anything, but it would be more words of affirmation for myself, because that's my love language. So little me would have loved to hear these words of affirmation specifically. So I would tell my younger self, you are not a crazy person. Your emotions are valid. You're free to feel how you're feeling. It's okay. And that you're still a good person when you mess up and you fail. You're still a good person. You're still yourself. And God made you who you are for a reason. You shouldn't be ashamed of who you are, any bit of yourself, because He made you who you are for a reason. So that's my advice for my younger self. So I did not want to spend this whole video just telling you advice for my younger self when I'm only 24 and there's so much more advice out there for people to give their younger self. So I recruited some members from my family to help me out with this video, and I asked them what advice they would want to give their younger self. Also, all this advice that we're giving our younger selves can apply to us now. Why do we have to reflect on our past and be like, well, I could have done this differently, but here's life, and this is what's happening now. Yeah, we could still use this advice today. I'm still gonna use some of this advice. Sounds great. So here's what they had to say.
Hello, my name is Annette Sanchez. I'm 52 years old.
What advice would you give your younger self?
I would tell her to be more spontaneous. Always follow your heart, and don't worry about what other people think.
Yo de joven me divertí mucho. A mí me gusta como yo fui. Yo no me cambio nada. Ese es el punto. Yo no me quiero cambiar nada. Como yo fui, perfecto. Y lo que yo viví en Cuba, perfecto, es mejor. Ahora, de Cuba para adelante, eso sí está mal.
¿Qué? ¿Qué se daría el consejo?
Oh, no meterme en lío. Eso sí.
¿Cómo qué? No meterse en-
So what's your name?
Hi.
How old are you?
5.
And what advice would you give your younger self?
Playing game.
Play more games? All right.
My name is Joey Wardlow. I'm 55 years old. If I could give advice to my younger self, it would be to be patient with things, because the future is good and most things in life are good, and pay attention to the good ones and ignore the bad ones.
Okay, my name is Emilio Matthews. My age is 37.
Okay.
And what I would tell my younger self, how much younger what am I telling?
Yeah, just
Doesn't
any.
matter?
It doesn't
Okay.
matter.
So if I had to tell my younger self, I would tell my younger self to take more chances and to invest more.
That's it.
That's it.
Good. Excuse me, Ginger. What advice would you give your younger self? Thank you. In your age,
I'm Annalise Sanchez. I'm 19 years old.
And what advice would you give your younger self?
I'd like to tell myself that you're not alone as you think you are. There's so many people around you that love you and will be there for you, so just trust in them and trust in God.
Well, how old are you?
Right now,
Yeah.
36.
There we go. What advice would you give your younger self?
To love on my mom a little longer, a little tighter.
My name's JJ Wardlow. I'm 17.
Okay, what advice would you give your younger self?
I would tell my younger self to try to find the right people to be friends with and try to get a not too big of a group, but like a good small group you can connect with, and just try to stick with them for as long as you can and just find the right people.
Hi, my name is Fernando Fuentes. I'm 24 years old, and something that I would tell my younger self would be probably don't worry too much about what it is you're supposed to be doing. At a very young age, everybody has this sort of thought that they're supposed to have this singular purpose in life, and I don't think that's true. I think that over time, you're starting to figure things out, and you might like what you do. You might find something that you actually really want to do at a young age, but I want to emphasize that you don't have to know that.
My name is Jeff Sanchez, and I'm 51 years old.
And what advice would you give your younger self?
I would tell myself to not work so much, spend more time with my kids when they were younger. I would tell myself to make sure to get the proposal right. And I would tell myself to stop, smell the roses, enjoy things along the way.
Hi, I'm John Sanchez and I'm 19.
And what advice would you give your younger self?
Well, I think I'd probably tell my younger self to probably just don't be afraid, don't let your fears control you. And that's basically it.
My name is Teresita Wardlow and I'm 57 years old.
And what advice would you give your younger self?
The advice I give my younger self is to always follow your heart. Your mind sometimes takes over, but your heart really does put you where you need to be. So I would say definitely always follow your heart and always to stay focused on our faith and our God, because we deviate sometimes when you're younger. We get involved in so much things, and I think if I would have listened a little bit better, I probably would have skipped some hurdles there. But so stay true to oneself, stay focused on God, listen to what He has for you, and listen to your heart.
Wow, wow, wow. I am so grateful for everyone in my family who participated in this and allowed me to record them. I hope that all of you watching got some piece of advice from somebody, no matter who it is, from Abuela, which is Delia, to little Kai and Corey. So maybe they can give you some advice. If you have any advice, comment below on any advice you would want to give us or your younger self. We would like to know what you guys think. As always, we are praying for you, and we are all here to be on your journey with you. So just reach out to us if you want any help or anything, because we love you. Can't wait to see you next video. Bye, everybody.